Oh my God, y'all. It's been so long. Y'all miss me? Y'all miss Financially Lit Tuesday? Because I did. So much has been happening these past couple of weeks, but I am happy to be back. Lit and live with y'all Tuesday. Yeah. Per usual, let me go ahead and get it popping on Instagram. All right, and I do know I gotta do my little sharing then on Facebook too. Um, Hold on, y'all. Hold on. And then we're gonna get it popping for real. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, oh. Okay. Okay. Um, Hold on, y'all. I'm still trying to get it together. Let me see faster. Oh, okay, and yep. Okay. Hello, all those that are tuning in with your girl. Okay. Oops. My bad. Oh, okay. I'm a little delayed today. My bad, y'all. My bad. Excuse me. Just get in the groove of things. Okay. All right. For real, for real. Now, what's poppin'? Hey, y'all. Welcome to Financially Lit Tuesday. I know it's been a while. I know. It's cool. Back into the groove of things. Ready to take it on. So this week is Halloween, right? So, what better thing to talk about than Halloween spending, some financial fears that are keeping you from wealthing up? And also, I'm gonna, of course, per usual, gonna be sharing some tips, all that good stuff. I'm gonna be sharing some statistics and things about Halloween. Having a little Halloween fun with y'all, in lieu of the holiday that is coming, approaching. So, hello, that dude Jay and Shirley. Hey, hey, hey. How's it going today? How's y'all day going? Okay. Yeah, write me out. Okay, okay. I think I want to make sure I got the other one open. Okay. So for starters, I'm gonna get started with Halloween statistics. Hey, I'm gonna get started with Halloween statistics. So, and then we're gonna go into some financial fears that are maybe preventing you from wealthing up for real, right? Because the end goal is to wealth up. The goal is to wealth up. What's keeping us from wealthing up? We want to make sure we address these things so we could do something about it, so we get this money, right? And we could do it the right way so that we can create that generational wealth. All right, so statistically, this is pretty wild. So, of course, this year with COVID and everything, less people are celebrating the holiday. But still, with COVID in the air and everything like that, even though, COVID put a little damper on the holiday, people are projected to spend, Americans, the United States, is projected to spend 8.05 billion dollars on Halloween this year. Like, I see Halloween, I see COVID not stopping out. Okay. Um, that's pretty wild. So I was like, $8 billion. They still getting lit on for Halloween this year. So over 148 million adults in the United States plan to celebrate Halloween this year. It's down about 58% from the previous years. It's down to 58% but last year was 68%. So it's been, dropping a little bit. But this year it's only really down 10% due to COVID. So people are still making sure that they celebrate Halloween. I know people are ready to put up their Christmas tree. They waiting on November 1st to put up their Christmas tree. How many of y'all are waiting on November 1st to go ahead and put up your Christmas tree? To go ahead and kick Halloween out the curb. So the average consumer spends about $92 to $100 on Halloween spending, right? So a lot, um, not so much, but a lot was gonna kind of change this year because people are doing like activities at home, more decorating, more things in the home, and also to go ahead and celebrate Halloween. So the price of costumes gone a little bit up, to basically compensate for the decreased records numbers of spending. So costumes are about going up about $5-10 from the previous years. But that is not stopping people shine because they still out there shopping clearly because they're expected to spend $8 billion on Halloween. So I was like, let me drop some facts because I was looking this up and I was like, this is pretty wild. Let me share it with y'all today. So thank you, Rodney and Kia for sharing the video. I appreciate it. So five, I'm gonna go over five common like fears, money fears that may be preventing you from wealthing up, right? So because a little spooky spook. So, but the more we know about what's preventing us, the more we can do something about it. So one of the big things in American adults is student loans. Oh my gosh. I'm still trying to figure out who's about to pay mine. Like, hello, when are they gonna pass a bill to eliminate my student loans? Like, they playing. They are playing. You got billionaires not paying taxes. Meanwhile, they want me to pay student loans. This is not okay. So, anyway, so that student loan stress, right? So you have a 30 over 36% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, right? So that's almost half of Americans. Like that's pretty dang close. 14% more, and that's half of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. People sitting with credit card debt. How do we conquer it? Like the student loan stress. Like, how do we say, okay, look, I'm not gonna let this stress me out. I need to come up with a plan, right? The big thing is coming up with a plan. Because with the plan, uh, what's his name? Um, Bill Gates. Bill Gates he said, a fool with a plan can outdo a smart man without a plan any day. So yes, so get your plan together. Not to say that you're a fool or anything, but you get the idea, hopefully. But yes, go ahead and get your plan. Understand your student loans in detail. So a lot of the times when you make a payment, it goes to like a little bit of each like debt or whatever the case may be. Understand it. Talk to the people about an actual plan to go ahead and pay that off. Pay it off based on what has the higher interest rate. Speak to them. Don't avoid them. Don't like kind of push it to the side. You know, I would say definitely make sure that you're coming up with a plan if it's something that you want to kind of release that burden and release that stress, coming up with a plan is ideal because it's not going anywhere. Right now, there is no bill out there, unfortunately. I'm hoping. But there's no bill out there that's going to wipe away the student loan debt. But coming up with a plan as far as how you're going to conquer it is the way to go. For like people that are low income or whatever the case may be, you can also set up a plan with them if you're low income or if whatever income bracket you're in, really, or if you want a lower monthly payment, because a lot of times they just kind of give you a payment and they say, hey, I mean a payment amount, and they say, hey, this is gonna be your payment, $600 a month, bop, and then you're like, who is gonna pay $600 a month to student loans? It's okay, just go ahead and reach out to them, say, hey, $600 is not gonna work, and then they'll come up with a more feasible plan for you. But tackling it head on is better than it sitting on the wayside affecting your credit, right? The other is recession anxiety. Like people stress, they're like, oh my gosh, is the market gonna crash? Like, what am I gonna do, baby? Oh my gosh, right? So like what's gonna happen, especially with COVID. Like some people were out of work for months, some people lost their jobs. So now they're like, oh my gosh, what do I do if the stock market crashed? Like, what's my next move? Right? So really making sure, once again, coming up with a plan and building up that savings of at least $500. Once you bid $500, build $500 worth of savings, go up to $1,000. You want to ideally have $1,000 in savings, and that's emergency savings. That is money that you're not going to touch unless it's an emergency. And if you do touch it, go ahead and replace that money in and put it back up to 1,000. So Dave Ramsey also lives by that. So he has the baby steps, right? So one of the baby steps is to make sure that you have $1,000. And if you get to say step number five and you had to use your emergency fund for something, then you actually have to stop this at the step that you're on and go back to step. I think that's step number two. But you go back to step number two and replenish the emergency fund before you go any further as far as where you how you are increasing your wealth. I got my water, y'all. Y'all know I'll be thirsty. I be get dehydrated. So, so making sure that you are having that emergency fund, because that's gonna also alleviate that recession anxiety, that oh my gosh, what happens if the market crash. It's gonna help alleviate that. So really making sure that you have that savings plan, you have a budget. Y'all, look, if you come on here and watch me week after week talk about getting building a budget and you haven't yet, look, I'm gonna say this again, like I say this every week. Make sure you have a budget. Oh my gosh. Like literally you can spend like 15 minutes on your budget. Just build a template. Come to Grand Rev. We'll help you build out a template for you, like that specifies that specifically helps you reach your goals, like you, for you, not some generic template that's online, something that that caters to you and your spending habits and where you want to go. So really making sure that you have a budget, because that is the only way, like that you're gonna know what your money is doing. Like your money is running wild out here. And then you look and you're like, dang, I really made that much money this year. And it's gone and you have nothing to show for it. So really make sure that you have a budget. A budget that step one. Oh, step one on the money Dave Ramsey. So so yeah, make sure you have a budget. Oh my gosh, please, please, please get your budget together. Revisit it. Look, right now, I already revisited my November budget last weekend, but really, this is the perfect time to build out your budget for next month. And if you don't have a template yet, like I said, reach out to Grand Rev. The initial budget plan is just $80. And then if you want us to sit down with you every month, it's really that same amount every month. Or you can say, hey, take that initial one and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take it from here. It's an $80 investment. Just go ahead. Or it's a, hey, I'm going to sit down and build out my budget. Like, get it done, y'all. It's crucial that you have one. Um, and the other is credit card debt. Hello, 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 everyone that's joining in. Credit card debt, credit card debt, credit card debt. Lord, I be hearing the horror stories about these interest rates. They really out here robbing people. Like 24%, 28% on credit cards. Look, no, like this is crazy, but it's okay. If it's a fear that you're like, or maybe it's like a stress, something that's really stressing you out right now. We're gonna take that deep breath, let it out, and then we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna come up with a plan because we need to pay this off. Those crazy interest rates, I'm paying them more money than I'm getting. Like, if you're not getting 14, if you're paying a credit card company 14% interest on loaning some money, you should be getting more than 14% somewhere else. Like, So really making sure anxiety to the max. Look, I feel you. So really making sure that you get that credit card debt. Come up with a plan. One of the lives I spoke about the different types of methods to help decrease your debt. Snowball, avalanche, those different types of methods. You can look on the YouTube channel Sipping Wealth, but really make sure that you're like saying like, okay, do I want to tackle the biggest debt first? Or do I want to tackle the smallest one and then, build some momentum and work from there? So really coming up with a plan to go ahead and alleviate that so that it's not something you're stressing about. Because if it's something that you do have, yes, in the back of your mind, you're like, what, I'm just gonna get, I'm just gonna pour me a glass of wine and forget I have it. I'm not gonna let it stress my life. But you know what? It didn't go away. And tomorrow, when that glass of wine wears off, that credit card debt is still there. So really making sure that we tackle it, right? Figure out how do you want to tackle the debt. Debt consolidation is like, please, I advise to stay away from it for this reason, because once you do a debt consolidation loan and it pays off all your loans, now you're stuck with one loan. What happens is you never actually changed your money habits. So what happens is now you're down to paying that one debt collector in a sense, but that financial habit that got you in the rut that you're in with all those credit card companies or all those debts, you still have. So you're going to continue that habit, continue spending money on those credit cards, continue racking up until you actually address the habit that you have. So, like I said, like a Grand Rev, we make sure that we assess your habits so we can stop repeating whatever financial mistakes that are putting you in a rut. So that's the only way you're really going to wealth up, right? Addressing it and then working on the habit so that you don't have to be there anymore. We wealthing up, right? Hello. Oop. Okay, so the other is credit risk. And when I say credit risk, it's like, oh my gosh, like my credit is terrible. Oh my gosh, something else is on my credit. And y'all, there is a trick to the trade, right? Like at the end of the day, like anything having to do with numbers, like anything having to do with anything really. There's something to be learned about it to get to the wanted result easier, more efficiently. So making sure that, hey, I'm stressed out about credit and I want to make sure that I get to a 700 minimum, mid 700 range, or I want to be in the 800 club. Like, so making sure that you know the tricks of the trade. And if it's paying for a $50 class for somebody to teach you it, then go ahead and do it. If it's, hey, I'm going to speak to a credit counselor, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and invest in that, because what it's going to give you is ease of mind. Yo, don't go around stressing your life. There's so many things that that can be added stressors in your life. And don't let finances and credit and all that other and that stuff be one of those. There's answers, right? Yes, sometimes it sounds like, oh my gosh, I gotta pay $100 for this, but $100 investment today can, one, save you time later, money later, and stress. Like, we ain't got time to stress about this stuff, y'all. Like, life is gonna go on, and we want to make sure that we have a fulfilling life. So don't go about stressing about your finances when there is an answer out there for you. Make sure you got the right people on your team. No stress, y'all. I know it's easy said than done, but look, there's an answer out there. There's people out there that get you the answer. Okay, and retirement. So retirement is the last one I want to make sure I go over. Retirement. People are like, oh my God, what am I going to do at retirement? Or maybe you're like, I'm not even going to worry about retirement right now. I'll worry about that in a few years. Like, I do not have the time, the mental capacity. I do not want to deal with it. But y'all, hello, we're getting older at the end of the day. If you want to be working until you have baby boomers still working because they have to. Social Security and Medicare, they barely have a budget to feed these people. Like it's not gonna be around years from now. In fact, if Trump is reelected, it's gone. Like, so really making sure that outside of these things that you're taking care of yourself. Yes, with the Biden plan, they're going for universal health care and things like that. Great. But you also want to make sure that, hey, I'm covered because you don't know what tomorrow looks like. You only know what today looks like, and you can, make projections based on today. So really making sure that you're doing what's necessary to, cover your butt in the future because you don't want to be stuck and be like, oh shoot, now I'm 70 years old and I have to rely on my kids, or now I'm 70 years old and I have to work in order to put food on my table, or I still have to pay a mortgage at 70 years old. So really, or I have to pay rent, whatever the case may be, y'all, alleviate that stress. Come have a retirement plan. Y'all, if you're young, if you're around your 20s, your 30s, this is prime time to build, to put your money in something that's growing interest. Y'all, if you don't have your money in an interest growing instrument right now, literally book a call with Grand Rev. Like stop playing games because you are like time is one of your greatest assets out after yourself, right? You're your greatest asset. But time, right now, you have time on your side, especially if you're young, to put your money in something that's growing in heavy interest. And so by the time that you're 65, by the time that you're 60, 55, however the case may be, or even if you want to retire early, that you have that option. So look, y'all, don't wait till the last minute. Get a retirement plan. If you have a retirement plan with your employer, awesome, great, but it is not enough. You have to have one outside of your employer. It's not enough. And it's 9 out of 10 is not really growing at a big interest rate. So because they choose like the most basic plans to award to their employees, like here we're in a group plan, woo, and put your money here so we can match a little bit of it if we do. But you want to have an IRA on your own, an individual retirement account on your own, so that I'm over here dropping stuff. My bad, y'all. So that your money's working for you. That's what we need to do. Have your money work for you. You can't be out here working for money stressed out. Hello. So yes, retirement plan, retirement plan, retirement plan. So that was the five like big fears and stuff, in lieu of the holiday. So you got the student loans, your credit card, your credit fears, your recession fears, or economic downfall fears, and that retirement fear. So if you're just hopping on the live, of course, watch in the beginning. I went over it. It's lit stuff, of course. Ooh, yes. Um, and then the last thing I'm gonna go over today is some things that you can do for the holidays without like breaking the bank, because we ain't got time for that, right? So costumes, really like doing DIYs. YouTube is like your best friend, right? So a lot of people are on YouTube doing like cute little DIYs, Pinterest, finding different ways of having creating costumes instead of spending $100 or 50, $60 on a costume. So you can really build a costume for less than $10. So doing that, decorations, being very crafty with your decorations, going to the Dollar Tree, putting stuff together, right? Um, uh, Instead of doing like your typical like huge candy bars or whatever, you can go to a bulk store like BJ's or Sam's Clubs or whatever and get like that in bulk instead of spending so much money at your regular grocery store like Winn Dixie or whatever. And then if you want like pumpkins and decorations and stuff, you can literally buy a pumpkin for the low. Like it's really not that expensive. And if you want to carve yourself a pumpkin, do a cute little activity with your family. That is something to do as well. So some traditions that you can start with your family could be that. Going through there's like a drive-in scary thingy. I can't remember the full information that you could go ahead with your family to. You can look it up, right? You know, we got Google. But yeah, doing that, really spending time with your family, especially with COVID out here, being safe. But yes, that's it, y'all. Any questions? Let me make sure. I'll be back next Tuesday with Wealth Up. Also, uh, Wealth Up events for November will be put out soon. So I'll be releasing the Wealth Up events for November on the Grand Rev page. So if you're not following Grand Rev Financial, definitely make sure that you are following the page. Um, and also look out for the Wealth Up event for November. Oh my gosh, I gotta say the October one, y'all showed out. Oh, and that was like the first Wealth Up event since COVID hit. So I was really happy. In December, we're gonna be at One Bridge. We're gonna have an in-house Wealth Up event. So yes, it'll be COVID friendly. So COVID friendly, COVID safe, I guess. That's the real way to say it. But yeah, so we'll be doing it at the Regency Mall at One Bridge. So that'll be a really cool one in December, the beginning of December. But for November, I'll be releasing that one soon. And yes, so be sure to get your tickets for Wealth Up and catch me next Tuesday for Financial Lit Tuesday again. Because every day we lit, especially on Tuesdays. So yeah, enjoy the rest of y'all nights. And if you have any questions, if you want us to do a live on like a topic that you're like, "Ooh, this is so cool," Wadleen, you should totally do this, or Wadleen, you should bring this person on to Financially Lit. Definitely let us know. Boop boop. And for any assistance with your tax issues, any tax issues that you may have, tax preparation for the new tax season as well, definitely make sure that you reach out to Grand Rev Financial. If you right now we are about to start our training for our new tax agents, just getting them the whole Grand Rev rundown for the new season. So if you have any tax questions, payroll, any bookkeeping, CFO services, or life insurance, definitely make sure that you're reaching out to Grand Financial. And yeah, have a great night.